beautiful human. I'm Zach. That is Dan. And we welcome back to the studio for the first time in a very long time.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Hey.
Man.
Hello.
I don't know why I hesitated. Like I got nervous. I was about to say the wrong name.
Because we changed the name.
Yeah, you lose one member and everything's different.
Everything changes.
We added a period at the end of it.
He's no more questions. Yeah, like pretty much is like what is that? Is that a statement? Is it a question? Is it an ellipses at the end of it?
It's up to interpretation.
Well, so, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Whatever you think.
Anybody else really surprised that you guys are still together as a band doing the fucking thing?
I don't know.
It's like mixed.
It feels like we're now gonna do it how it was supposed to be done.
From the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. I think the weird part or like the hesitation has just been the fact that we took so many gaps to release music. Well, not because of us, but it took a while for us to release music on a lot of chords. So especially during COVID, a lot of not even the fans, but the people who passively listen to us are like, hey, are you guys still a group? Are you guys still dropping music?
Right, because we were kind of silent for a minute.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like we don't care to break this, or we don't care to stick to the stigma that like groups have to end, necessarily. So
Yeah,
we've always kind of talked about just like doing, excuse me, like staying a group, even like exploring other opportunities in the future. And yeah, I think we focus so much in the very beginning on like actually becoming like really close and like learning each other. And at this point, we're just like so closely knitted. It's like family. So it's like kind of hard for us for other people, I can imagine it might be like, oh, like I didn't know you guys were still together. But for us, it's like, I can't imagine not being, a unit.
But the reality there is like twofold, right? Like you're sewing a deeper relationship together as people, but you're also learning a lot in the process, and you're getting your skills down to a point that's pretty intense. Like, do you feel like you've put in so much that you just can't bail?
Yes.
Oh, 100%. No, yeah. Like it's funny you say that. I was literally driving on my way over here, and I was like in the car, and I was listening to this like other like conversation or interview of someone else, and this guy literally said one thing that hit me really hard. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm like 25 going on 26, and I put most of my time into this. I'm not doing anything else. Like, fuck that. This is working or I'm dying. Like, that's it, Like,
I'm dead.
But a part of the game is consistency, right? And there is a fear also of bailing too early.
Yeah.
Because in a world where like tomorrow can change your life or the next swing can change forever.
Yeah.
Totally.
I was thinking about that the other day. Like some of all of our favorite artists weren't successful until even older than us. So
It took time.
yeah, like, and then you can get kind of caught up seeing like Justin Bieber and like we were kind of compared to One Direction. So we're like, we have to blow up. Like I kind of thought that like 18, 19, 20, like if we weren't the biggest shit in the world, it just kind of had to be in that time. We had to be like teens still. I felt like I felt like we couldn't really be an older group, but I think it's like so much better now. Like we're very hands on. We're like taking everything seriously. So it's just,
and like the market has shifted too. For like we're not trying to not appeal, but we're not trying to like specifically appeal to like young teens.
Yeah, you're appealing to your peers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And even now, like we're independent now, and so we're seeing all the metrics, and we're like really going in nitty gritty and trying to like see like where can we capitalize, where is our market, how do we invest the most time and energy into certain things so that it comes back to us tenfold. And what we're noticing is a lot of our fans who first started with us are now older, and they're in their 18, 19, 20, all the way to 24 is like our biggest market, and that those are our peers.
Do you feel like
we relate to them now more than we did at that time?
100%. And a lot of them, they've grown up with you, and then people have the ability to pick up on things now at any stage in time. And if they hear your music for the first time, you have a great like discography and catalog for people to like go back and explore. It's like a bunch of stuff there. Is being independent making you more aware of things that you weren't aware of before?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
100 million %.
Like for just for reference, we shot. So we have an album coming out this year, and we shot 3 music videos.
We're
We're gonna shoot
third one
more.
like this week.
We had a budget. We have, a budget of all the things that we are
Won't
trying
say
to
numbers exactly.
that we're trying to accomplish. But the budget that we knocked out for these 3 music videos is so significantly, like, so much smaller than a label would ever invest, and it forced us to creatively get super like dope about it.
Yeah,
pull in favors and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But the quality at which that we knock these videos
you
out,
can't tell that this
you
budget.
can't tell what the budget is.
Yeah.
You would have thought that it was.
It looks.
Yeah.
I would say it looks the same or better as like any of our other music videos that had huge budgets. So
Yeah,
And-
and there's something interesting about that we've learned. We tested and learned one time back in like the earlier days, but are really honed in on now, is that there's a certain level of creative exploration that happens when we're faced with these limits, on something like a budget and restrictions, and it forces us to really go into the foundation of like what it is we're doing, and like, come up with these intentions of like, all right, what are we trying to say? What are we trying to do? And like do something that I feel like connects and resonates more.
Totally.
And that's been really fun for us to learn. But if we really think about it, our biggest music video to date is still a video that actually, shout out to my boy Noah Duran. We did this video in one take. It's Teacher, and it's like we just paid for a studio to do photos in, and we did a music video while we were in the studio. Basically, just one take of us messing around in the studio.
Quality art isn't determined based on how much money you put into it.
Exactly.
Connectivity
Exactly.
isn't based on how much money you put into
100%.
it. Like, obviously, you want to maintain some level of baseline quality.
Yeah,
but,
and
like,
it helps,
Right.
and for us, we've learned also there was so much given to us right off the jump that we felt like the trend was backwards, in the sense of like we had this really crazy house and like all these like things that were like kind of handed to us.
Because you had
and then
Simon Cowell and Psycho right out the gate,
Yeah.
pouring
Yeah.
money into what it meant to
Yes.
develop you.
Yes.
But the reality is also probably at the same time you weren't making much money yourselves.
no.
No.
I mean,
If
no,
anything.
not at all.
No, yeah.
Zero.
They spent it on everything but you.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally.
basically. And so for us, like, I guess one of these new, like, deep-rooted intentions that we're setting is, like, really earning our way and, like, being strategic about how we start to scale.
Yeah.
Not, one, because we're forced with these limitations, but we know where we want to go and the types of things we want to do. But it's nice for us to be able to prove not only to ourselves, but the people around us, the other artists around us, and, people in the industry, what we're capable at a small scale, so that as we scale up, we can do it properly.
So-
and the people that are helping us out, like a lot of the people who are a part of our team, as we're still developing that team as we
Yeah.
go, but so many people are doing favors for us and doing it out of the love of the craft, of the music, of the camaraderie that we have for each other. And ultimately what we want to do is be able to, compensate them like the way that
Yeah.
they should be compensated for the hard work that they're putting in. But we're making dope shit happen.
Yeah.
even I was gonna say the music thing, like we just had our first independent release, and it's doing better than the last release with
Last
our
two.
label. The last 2 releases, which had money behind them, push, TikTok promo, all that, and that again just goes to show you people are so smart. They can tell if you're being authentic, if you're enjoying what you're doing,
Yeah.
if it's coming from you. So it's so like dope to see the reaction that we got. And it's just the first song. We got
Mhm.
so many more coming.
Yeah.
So many.
This whole thing is crazy. Like, did you have to buy the name? Like, did you have to buy your other
No.
songs?
Mhm.
Like, what was the
We're
process
very,
of?
very
Yeah, we're
fortunate.
very fortunate.
We have, like, we're in a position where we're fortunate enough to have, like, we own all the rights to pretty much, and like we are the owners of the company, and we don't really have like anything to recoup. Like, we don't owe anything. So we're
Damn.
in this position where
They
we
just gave you
really-
everything.
So no, listen, we own our masters. Like all the
this
songs
point.
we release from now on, we get the money from those. But like all our old songs,
They still hold
the
the
old
masters.
label still.
Yeah.
owns
Oh
those
yeah, like our
masters.
Yeah.
catalog we won't own until like
Like whenever that reverts back
10
to us.
whenever that there's like probably 10 years ahead
A
of us.
reversion.
But they let you have the name at least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is-
yeah.
yeah,
Very
So,
fortunate.
I'm, like,
I don't
pretty
know
sure,
how
like,
much
Big
we
Time
can
Rush had to
really
buy
get
the name.
into. I don't know how much we can really get into, but in a nutshell, like our first label that we were with, they like dissolved as a company, so we were able to get out with terms.
Oh, that's
And-
great. Yeah, because in those contracts, like
Yeah.
if they were to go away, the company was to go away, altogether.
like,
It reverts
a little
back
bit
to you,
more
but if you were to
limbo.
sell it, you would have been fucked.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
And that's what and that's what we're learning. A lot of artists kind of like we got out right before the company dissolved.
Very fortunate.
So fortunately, we got to leave with terms. But a lot of artists just kind of were just left in
Limbo.
limbo because
I had
there's
to,
no
like,
more company.
yeah.
And you ultimately fall upon like Sony because I think Sony owns
First, yeah.
Psycho. But now you're left with a company who doesn't really believe in you because they weren't invested in you.
Right.
And you have to learn a bunch of new people. Like
Yeah.
your whole career stops and you have to like restart.
Well, yeah, they weren't directly like Sony as a massive
Isn't
corporation
directly.
isn't directly invested in these artists. 'Cause,
No.
So when
you know,
we
it's
moved,
the branch side that was.
so we moved over to Warner, and that was a fun little time, and that was cool for a bit. But we lost our key component there,
Yeah.
our A&R. Shout out to her, she's amazing,
Killing
Rainey.
it.
She's killing it. But she dipped out and had to do some other stuff. So that's where we were left in a position where do we go? Like no one is invested in this project the way that we are, and you can't like just tell somebody be invested in this.
No, and people like when you're an A&R, like you want to pluck something from nothing, or
Right.
you get handed a superstar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So we were kind of left in this weird period, and again, COVID is happening, so it's like it's
Yeah,
just
so
a
all
mess.
kinds of things are changing. Like, yeah.
And then we decided as a group, and this was when we kind of collectively had to figure out like what do we want as a group.
Yeah.
Is this what we want to do for the rest of our lives? How invested do we want to be? And we just asked, and it was easier than expected, but you know our manager at the time helped us out. And we kind of got out scot-free, thank God. And they're an amazing
Yeah,
label,
they're-
and they're dope.
Yeah,
But
of course, they're Warner. I mean, they're amazing.
it
They're
just
successful.
creatively, like we're on a trajectory, and it's hard to know that where you want to go and have those limitations or have those decisions be made by somebody else other than you.
Or it's like, you know, when like you could have two on both parties be like dope, equally creative, equally successful, you know, whatever the case is. But if you're not working well together, then it's just not a great partnership, you
Yeah.
know?
100%. You
that's
need
really
a
just what it
champion on
comes
the
to.
inside who feels like your wins are their wins and vice
Yeah,
versa.
exactly.
Yeah.
You can't really get that. Like again, it's so easy to get shelved in those situations
Mhm.
Oh,
and have
100%.
everything just like you say, like hit stop, and that's not fair.
Yeah. And it, you know, we were trying to be good sports. We were like, let's make sure that we're putting all the energy into this that we can. But I think after the last song that we put out with the label, it was kind of on both sides. We just felt, okay, I think that it's time to move on.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
and also, as much of a crazy of a time like the COVID situation was, and transitioning of labels and all of this, and how maybe we look at it and have been like, you know, discouraged because of how unfortunate certain things came to be. I look back now because with a little bit more of a silver lining in the sense of like it really gave us time to process everything we had done, but also to really understand where we wanted to go, because it was so easy when we were with like our first labels, you know, to like just they were like pushing all the agendas and we were just kind of doing whatever, you know, and just being not in a negative light, the puppets
No,
of
yeah,
the
you're
show.
going where you're told to go. You're going into the sessions that you're
Exactly.
forced to go into,
You know?
and like somebody else is definitely
Saying
pulling
what
the
you're supposed to
strings, but
say.
now you pull your own strings.
Yeah.
But the responsibility and the pressure's on you. So if it fucks up or
Totally.
fails, there's no one else to blame.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I would rather that pressure. I would rather know that if something didn't go to plan, it was because of me and not
Yeah.
because of somebody else.
Because
Yeah,
if
I
it's
like that.
if it's because of you, then you can look back and assess and
And
make
learn from it.
changes
And fix.
and and
So-
grow from it ultimately.
How does your music making process change between Warner and Independence? Does it change at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Very. It is again one of the things that you said earlier. Like one of the things that I notice now that I didn't really even consider before is like something like studio time.
Yeah.
Like anytime we wanted a studio, it was just boom. You're booked. You're in on Friday, and that was all paid for. You know, and
didn't
it
even
wasn't
ask a
ever a
question.
thought really.
Yeah.
You know, and we're very fortunate to also be like where we write and produce, and we have done that for the whole album that's coming out. So we have studios at the house, but it's like, yeah, we haven't been for this whole project really. We haven't been actually at the
At a
like
studio.
at a recording studio.
Do you think
All in
that's
the
for
house.
better or for worse?
I mean, it's been
not for
it's definitely
worse
not
at
for
all.
worse.
Yeah, I'd say for better.
It could be.
I
It's
think
fun
it's
to
for
be in the
better, but
studio.
it is fun to be in that environment. But I think for us, like, a lot of like our most influential or our best music is made just like for fun. Like when we're all just in the crib, someone's cooking a beat, someone comes and freestyles on it, we try some. It's like very collaborative and very like spontaneous.
Spontaneous. That's the best like description of it. And because like we live together, so it's like very easy for us to. We don't even have to go anywhere. It's like when like he could not even. We don't have to schedule time to be creative because if my speakers are blasting in the house and Edwin hears it in the other room, he'll probably walk over and see what's going on and start. And then all of a sudden now we're in a writing session. You know.
And you've been living together forever, right?
Since the beginning.
7 years. 7 years on Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
Except for me, because
except for this guy.
I took. There was a period of time where I obviously took time to be a dad. So that's.
I mean, you're still a dad.
I'm still a dad. I took the time in the beginning to like be there, be present, and then obviously everything that happened with my situation happened, and now I'm back with the boys. And Theo has
baby?
3 of the coolest fucking uncles ever.
Sick.
So.
Yeah.
Where's the baby at though?
He predominantly stays with his mom, but then I get him every other weekend at the moment.
Very cool. Are they in like California? Like they're close?
Yeah. Down towards Riverside.
Oh, cool.
It's so funny. I forgot like I got him like a little Lego set, but then I was like looking at the box. I was like, oh, this is probably still like another year or 2 ahead. Like, so it's just gonna wait on the shelf.
Yeah, for sure.
Being a dad changes your life though.
Oh, definitely.
Because now like you have a whole new set of responsibilities and pressures, and you're not really doing this just for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, it's but it in an interesting way, it gave me a lot of maturities that most people you could ask me a couple of years ago I definitely needed, and it brought me to a place where I'm more honed in.
He's a really good dad.
I'm not gonna lie.
Great dad.
Great dad.
Really good dad.
Like,
I enjoy it. It's very fun.
It's, like not in a bad way, but it just surprises me because like like every time that like I see you like doing the dad thing, I'm just like, wow, look at him go. Look at him do that.
Look at him.
Look at the child taking care of a child.
It's a lot of work.
No, it's
and I can see it. Like, so that's why it's like kudos to you, bro.
Nah, dude.
Yeah.
Dads are hot.
If you're someone who likes
Keep it up.
nostalgia, it's definitely really funny because you sit there and you're just like. You'll have these little like blips of a memory. It's not even like you can place yourself in a single spot, but you have like a conscious feeling of like the first time you watched Toy Story. Like when I showed him that for the first time, I started crying because I was just like, I remember the memory of seeing the toys come to life, and I was like, like
I'm an uncle, and my sister has a baby boy, and he's 2, and you get to watch somebody experience like genuine firsts.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah.
That's special.
It's
Or like when he
wild.
found out he could make noises with his mouth. Like, bro, his face.
Yo, but he loves music. He loves music.
Oh yeah.
Like every time like we're like jamming or whatever, he like will bang on the piano and like he'll
he
dance.
better like music. We got to keep the business going.
Of course. He already sings a little bit.
Like
It's
when
pretty
he
cute.
gets to the right age, we're gonna start putting him through training and artist development.
You're gonna do exactly what was done to you.
Exactly.
No.
Not exactly.
We'll take Nick's spot.
Yeah, we're basically
Gotta get him
preparing for that.
What was it called? A Coogan account?
He's got a Coogan, yeah.
Yeah, he's been getting work.
Yeah, he was
Was he an actor?
He
That's
he
right, he
acted
is.
He's
in
a natural.
I forget the name of the show. 'Cause
Damn.
I didn't watch it.
Were you? Apparently you weren't on
I
set with
literally
him
watched
either.
the one episode and the one scene where my son was in it, and I was like, "That's fire! That's my son right there."
hilarious.
But I
love
think it's
it.
like This Is Us or something like that.
Oh, casual, just a big show. Is it like a recurring? Like what is he doing?
No, he
That's
was just he played the baby of one of the characters in it. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know.
Sick. You got to
Yeah.
do this while he can't remember anything.
Yeah, but that's the show about the 3 kids and one of them's adopted and
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
I'm sure there's
Making
like
sure I
a
got
dozen
the
shows that are almost the exact same.
Yeah.
Okay,
But yeah. I think This Is Us.
Yeah, that's
So is the goal for this baby to act and like take care of you one day or what?
we just no, by no means. No. It was something it was like decided between me and his mom. And
No, I love it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my goal. I'm only producing children that can show me return on investment. I want each one of my kids to show
the
a really
ROI?
healthy
That's what
profit
I
margin.
want him to be self-sufficient. That's definitely something.
Yeah, that's nice.
But he doesn't need to give me anything.
As long-
if he wants to though, hey,
The most recent stat was it takes $300,000 to raise a child up until 18. So
Each.
yeah, for each
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
So the time is
over-
now.
That's a realistic
over time,
number.
though, over
It's probably
time.
higher.
Yeah,
than
over,
that,
over
though.
18 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's probably higher. Like I think that's like on the low end.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
definitely
and,
low.
if,
Depends on
and
the
if he's
area you
anything like
live,
me, I'll probably be dropping a lot more than that.
True.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's-
I spent half that in
I'm not
a
gonna-
month when I messed my head up.
Jesus, where are you pulling that money from?
I fractured back in my skull. It ended up costing like
this was like-
$70,000 for
What?
the ambulances. Yeah,
Yeah.
You-
This
what'd
was
you
before the
do?
group. This was
What? You
before
have
the group.
insurance, bro?
they didn't cover that.
I mean,
Wait.
at a certain point, you still have to pay out of pocket.
yeah, you do. Yeah,
That's crazy, bro. If I'm
yeah.
Wait, you fractured the back of your
leave me
skull?
on the street, bro.
Huh?
Leave me on the street.
You fractured the back of your skull.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Yeah, he's got a
Longboarding.
spot in his head. You could feel it.
Oh my
Mhm.
god, I don't want to. That's crazy.
Yeah, I had
You were getting
you
out
okay?
there.
I thought you were gonna get up inside. Yeah, I had an epidural hematoma. I have 3 titanium plates holding a piece of my skull in on the back of my head.
Jesus Christ.
There was like a time actually.
That's
was,
medical debt in this country, though. Like I'm assuming
Yeah.
you like sit in like debt from that, right?
Thank God my dad has money paid back because he was the one that got that paid off for me.
Oh,
so.
thank you, Jesus.
Yeah,
but that
no.
would be like.
Bless
By the
my
way,
dad.
like that's a very real thing where you get really, really hurt all of a sudden. Knock on fucking wood. Everyone hit that log. Like yes. I think you just knocked concrete, which
No,
is
there's,
why.
there's wooden panels on it.
Okay.
It's a log right here.
Whatever.
I just want to make sure that
I thought
like,
this was
you
on
out
a
of
wood
all
box.
of
I
them,
don't know.
just knock it proper. But like really, a lot of situations where like you get hurt all of a sudden, and then you look at the fucking bill and you're like, damn,
Yeah.
I'm 150 grand into this hole.
Yep.
Mhm.
And there's no real way out. And by the way, in any other like modern country that gives any little microcosm of a shit about just like
They're people.
like think about it, like it's not even about caring about people. Like if you just care about the flow of society
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
in order to maintain order and like the balance of what it takes for like everything to work in a day, health is at the center of
It's
all
at
of
the-
it.
The
Mhm.
nucleus. Yeah.
So by offering proper health care is actually selfish to the country because like it actually saves you money long term. Anyway,
Yeah.
Crazy.
We can get into
Yeah,
that, but
how we
we could-
change that?
it's
let's do something about
a
that.
long process. But it is crazy that like you. That I'm so sorry that happened.
I mean, it is
Do you have a
what it is,
baby
man.
before or after that?
that was before I had Theo. I was 17.
Yeah,
It
this
was
was
be- it
like
before
That
the
was
group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, why you
But
were in
it okay. I mean, I obviously don't want to speak for you, but like it's crazy because also kind of more recently too than like the epilepsy thing. Like
Oh yeah.
You
Oh,
have
yeah,
to,
'cause
like, be
that's like gonna
careful
come back
about-
forever. You don't just fracture your skull and
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
done
Yeah,
with you.
They told me when I had the injury that I would develop things throughout life that just like would come on really fast. Like I started losing my vision. I have astigmatism in my left eye. Yeah.
Can you see me? Yeah.
I can see you, bro.
Just out of
just slight
curiosity, like I think I
astigmatism,
look
you
better
know,
like
like-
fuzzy.
No, it's just like with lights, like when I'm on the highway at night, like lights will glare and it like makes a real straight line that just like takes up
That's
so much of my
unsafe
vision.
for everybody.
Does it affect
around.
you on stage when there's like flashing lights and strobes and everything?
Yeah.
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 Like
Yeah,
we
to
have
be
to like
careful.
now be like cautious about like
Strobe lights
even
and
like
things like
strobe
that.
lights and like certain things like that.
Which, by the way, is the proper thing to do anyway.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
yeah, just
Very
for
true.
in general for people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
you should
true.
put a nice little warning at
Exactly.
the beginning.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's
Glad
But
not,
if my son's anything like me, I'm going to be paying a lot of money.
that's yeah. You need to work. This needs to work out.
Need this.
You need for a bunch of reasons. A quality
Yeah.
insurance policy. So
Oh.
same. What?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna get into the same place. / wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like you said it exactly how
Backslash.
it was written.
A backhanded slash.
Is that like is the way it is written the way it's supposed to be pronounced, or is this,
Honestly, I've
Well,
never,
they're two separate songs.
What are they a
Yeah.
part of one project?
They're
Yes.
just part of
the single.
so our main idea of when we thankfully got into a new distribution deal which allowed us to like finally start releasing music through like Spotify, Apple Music, and you know
Mhm.
very excited about that.
Amazon Music.
Amazon Music, you know, all
Can't
of
forget
Tidal.
Amazon Music.
Basically we just wanted like now that we're finally able to, instead of just like one single at a time, because we are leading into an album, we have been saying that.
Mhm.
We really want to just like, you know, create more frequency and give the fans, you know, an extra song. So we have like a couple singles coming out, but they have like an extra song attached to it. So
Yes.
same place as like the single and Wrong is like, hey, here's an
Bonus
extra
track.
song.
It's its
also
bonus
on the
track.
album.
Yeah.
Are you making new stuff, or are you pulling from things that you maybe wanted to release at Warner, but you just didn't
A
get
little bit
around
of
to?
both.
A little bit of
No,
both.
no, it's all
it's
all
pretty.
new.
I think it's new.
I'd say it's a
newer-
60-40, 60 newer, 40
newer, like
old,
newer,
like,
not like psycho old. Like
Okay.
newer, like we were on we had a deal with Twitch, so we would make a lot of music on Twitch.
Right.
That's
yeah.
In
A
front
lot of the music
fans.
is actually started from Twitch. So,
So the
it's-
fans
Sick.
actually have a hand in like
They've
some of these.
seen a lot
they've
of
seen it
these.
come to life.
Yeah.
So they're already excited for some of these songs. Like they don't know which ones exactly are going to be on the album.
or how they
but-
sound. Like
or
same
how they
place.
sound.
Well, we didn't. I don't think we didn't start on Twitch, but we definitely played it and like finished. I think background
Yeah.
vocals and stuff all on Twitch.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but even then, it's nice because they heard it a certain way for kind of a minute, and then like very recently, as we've been just finishing, we're still actually finishing like the final production, and we're actually we're not paying for mixing and mastering, so we're mixing and mastering
Holy shit!
the whole project.
Wait, before you continue, I just want to say this. So music videos shot completely us, directed completely us, filmed, edited completely us, songs, production, written completely us, mixed,
Everything.
mastered completely us.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And
It's
styles.
Choreo.
Choreo. With the help of
with the help
with
of
the help
Ian
of with Ian
Eastwood.
Eastwood.
Nothing is not like have us involved, even if there's actually one song that we
Designs.
that's coming out actually this month that has other producers, but even that one we kind of like it was like a collaborative
It's a
thing.
collaborative thing.
Yep.
So you get to set up your own sessions. You choose who you work with. You literally have total control.
Total
Mhm.
control.
Total
Everything.
control.
Is this
For
the
first
best?
time, really? Yeah.
Is this the best music you've ever made?
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
It's the
1000%.
it's
I think it's just genuine. It's real. Like before, I think we're going into it without any like like this has to be the hook and this is the verse and this is strategic. There's a formula.
Mhm.
There's an algorithm to how we make music. We're just going with what flows, how we genuinely feel. If we all love it, then
Like, does
let's
this
go.
sound
Dope.
the best it possibly could?
Being
or not?
honest with each other.
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like before we were kind of we would write songs and then we would bring them to the table and then the label would kind of say, yeah, record this. Now everyone has an identity in every song.
Yeah.
If
Mhm.
if they don't want to, if they want to have their own identity, their own verse on the song, then do your own verse. On the
Yeah,
song.
like maybe like one of us came and wrote an entire song, but then like by the time we start to record it, if I'm like, I actually probably want to, if I'm gonna sing this, I'm gonna sing a whole different verse. It's like cool, change
Yeah.
it.
change.
Zion wants to extend a part, be like, okay, I'm gonna add an extra few bars here. I think that's what's been fun for us is just because not like we were always I guess good sports about it, and like we always like created our identity within the songs that we had to date. But a lot of times, like the people we were working with, and it was kind of maybe coming from the label and coming from like the producers and writers who were very successful producers and writers, kind of had like, they kind of were like telling us, all right, you're going to be on this part, you're going to sing here. And we would kind of like, we had a nice little process of like, not like, I guess, auditioning different people on, like say maybe Edwin and Zion both tried the hook, but then at the end we kept just Zion on it, or, it's nice now that we can really go in with the intentions setting from us.
Yeah.
Also, we've just done it so much at this point. It's almost like a unspoken, like we just kind of know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's very rare. I feel like now when we get into like final recording on a song, whether it's demoed out by one or two people or whatever, that when we all just get on it, it's like cool. Like no one really says anything. We just all kind of like, all right, I want that part. I think I'm gonna sound best here. Like
Yeah.
It's cool because, like, again, either Edwin or me or Brandon will, like, have, like, a full song, and then we'll either cut it because it's that dope, or we'll just add to it. We're just trying to make the best possible music, so it's like, if there's all these dope ideas, we're just going to combine them, and if the idea is already dope by itself, we're just going to put our vocals on it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
And we want to explore. We're trying some new stuff that we've never done before
Yeah.
on this album.
Do the creative dynamics get harder or easier with Nick leaving?
I would say making
mean-
sure everyone on the song is a little bit,
Well, I
like
was,
everyone's
I was
heard.
gonna say, well, with the Nick thing attached to Nick, I think there's more things changing that created more of a shift in the dynamic, like kind of like everything we just addressed.
Yeah.
Whereas like Nick's exit, obviously as much as we miss hearing his voice on the songs,
Yep.
I think it's more just been like, I don't know. For us, all the attention has been going into like what
Yeah,
we.
it's coming.
There's
There's
like
like
a few-
bunch of other change too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like
So
a,
it's
a
like-
whole new identity.
It's not like that's taking like a huge portion of the focus. Although we do miss Nick. And I guess there was a few songs that before that we had started and he was kind of on, and we had to decide like,
Reimagine them.
okay, like
Mhm.
we're gonna have to re-record this. Like I think actually Nick was on, like I had written it, but then I had fully recorded him on the bridge of Same Place.
Mhm.
And I think that was one of the versions that even the fans heard on Twitch.
Yep.
And then obviously with him leaving, we had to change that. But
He's-
then we ended up changing it. Opened the door for me. I changed the whole production of the
Yeah.
bridge, like, and it
Yeah.
now it's like definitely leveled up.
It's a different song.
East Fuego.
How many songs for the album?
15.
Should we say 15? There it
Yeah.
is. Boom.
Mm.
15.
What story do you want to tell?
Should we?
Oh shit!
Just leak the name of
Should
it.
we?
I don't know if we should look the
I
name
think
of it.
we
We could give some context on what it's gonna be about.
I don't know.
I'm down for leaking.
We can.
All
look
I
it.
know
I
is-
think.
My favorite song on the album is called "Alone."
Mm,
That's all I can say.
that one's coming. Yeah, I don't think people have
Really
even
good.
heard that.
I'm down to leak if everyone.
I'll go
Yeah, let's.
I'm down to leak.
I
Down to
think
leak.
basically.
Down to leak.
Show hands.
Yeah.
All right.
Look
All
at
right,
this. You
let's
have the
leak it.
power. You just put it right to a vote.
Yeah, right here.
The democracy.
We literally didn't talk about this before.
We're real honest about it.
Yeah, so the album is called This Thing Called Love, and I think it's just for us, because like I said, we're trying so many things experimentally with the sound. Really what ties it all together is the message. A lot of it is about love, falling in love, falling out of love, like fun, just like one, I don't know,
One-night stand
one night
kinda
stand
vibe.
vibes, like
Yeah. The different
just the
perspectives.
different
of-
aspects, and kind of like also there's a little bit of like heart in it of just like wondering, what is this thing called love? Like, what is it?
Do you get any
Yes.
closer to finding out through making the album?
Yep.
I think so.
I feel like yeah.
Every
think
day
so.
we getting a little closer.
I think so because it's also like nice for us to share like our approaches because there's obviously 4 of us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And also to be vulnerable. Like
Yeah.
I think for a long time, because we were being told kind of like what to sing and how to present ourselves, like
Yeah.
we kind of fought against the vulnerability side of ourselves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Subconsciously.
Yeah, and then once phases kind of took off, we realized like there's no harm, there's no shade in like being soft
Right.
and being vulnerable and showing that side. And
Right.
I think there's a good balance of like dope, just like
More
like,
flexy stuff and,
what we
like,
could dance
party
to, we could
vibes.
party to, because again, we want like everyone to fuck with it, but at the same time too, like we have such a vulnerable side to us that we shouldn't be afraid to show.
More storytelling.
Yeah,
more-
I think the album does a really good job of portraying 2 sides of love. There's the love you exert and the love that you give to yourself. And
That's
so
nice.
all of those
I like that.
flexy like hype songs, like that's the shit was like I feel good about myself enough to say
Turn
this
up.
to you, or and then it's just the straight up things where it's like this is just what I want to say, and I wish I could say it all the time.
Yeah.
That is love.
And more like introspective stuff.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Alone.
Yeah.
No, like personal storytelling is
bro.
what brings people closer.
Yeah.
True.
Of course.
By the way, you can listen to pretty much his music. We're gonna put a link in the description below. All of it available on Amazon Music. Daniel,
I mean, Same Place is a pretty honest song. Who started that one?
That one,
was-
that was me.
Yeah, I
and,
figured.
me and Author actually.
Shout out Author.
Shout out Author.
Author.
Incredible writer.
He's a writer named Author.
Yeah. yeah. Yeah.
Bruh.
Thank you for the clarification. Yeah. I think that one we also just wrote at the crib. Like we did a demo while there was a party happening, and then later we ended up cutting it. Great vibe.
was a party happening? Did that add to the product at all?
No, but we just. I mean, not particularly. I think
So what
it's
are you
just
laughing at?
like we've definitely, because we've always had studios at the house. Like it's always been. Like what kind of Zion was saying earlier, it's just the spontaneity. Is that a
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity.
That's not a word either.
Jesus Christ.
Spontaneity.
We making out words today.
Oh my God. You just combined continuity and spontaneous. Not a word.
It's great.
Not a word.
It's a
But
great
the
word.
spontaneity
Look it
of the moment. Sometimes when we're having people over or just have like good vibes in the crib, it I don't know, it makes it easier to create for me at least. So yeah, we used to do that a lot, and then there was so much music that we've made that could eventually come out, may never see the light of day, but it was just a crazy fun vibe like that we made while full parties were going on, like sometimes ragers.
You like a little audience? What's the deal?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
people all
Yeah,
piled up
sometimes.
in the room.
But also just like, I don't know, just being able to like be in the house. Like our last crib was
Energy.
was the coolest for this because like there would be a party happening in the house, and it was just like the adrenaline and the energy coming from that, like going into the garage, and then that's like a whole another vibe in there. And just someone just coming in, popping in, laying a verse, and then going back into the party. And
Yeah.
then it was just
What a
I don't know.
life.
Creative, just spontaneity.
Spontaneity.
I don't know.
Spontaneity.
No, Same Place. I love Same Place. It's probably one of my favorite songs. I think that one we kind of saw some fire. We were doing this thing where we were just posting like song snippets on TikTok, and we were like, okay, whatever goes, we'll go. That one got the most excitement. But random people were hitting me up, like writers and producers were hitting me up, like, yo, this song is sick. Like, and they're just seeing the snippet on TikTok. So I think that was the first. We really didn't have a plan going into the album at first, and then Same Place was kind of like the start of like this journey of where is the album gonna go, how are we gonna take it, how are we gonna promote it and stuff like that.
Right.
Does it dictate sonics to you or no? Like what you
What do you
like?
mean?
I don't.
Is this set a sonic tone for the entire album?
No,
or-
no, no, no.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
not. A little bit.
It represents a portion. There's a
Like-
few
like-
songs
Yeah,
that-
there's like a few songs that sound like it, but
it's-
or live in that world, but
it doesn't point its finger at like
at the
at the direction.
no.
Yeah.
Like I think every song on this album, like there's no like cohesiveness to it where it's like, oh, this song, they're like the same world. It's just each song is specific to itself, and the lyric, the production, how we attack the song, how we vocal
Produce it.
produce it. Like I think every song has its identity,
Mhm.
but could stand alone by
Mhm.
itself. Like
Yeah.
doesn't. I think all of it collectively really feels like a strong project. But if it needed to stand alone, all those songs could stand alone. And
Yeah.
do
Like
its
I
thing.
think you'll hear when you hear the next two songs. The next two songs actually sound
Very-
nothing like
yeah, very different.
two
Very
songs we just
different.
put
last
out.
one.
Yeah.
When is the full
I think
album
it-
going to be released?
We're
Do you have a
looking
goal?
at
mid
late May or May.
May.
A couple months.
Just May.
months.
Yeah, couple
Cool.
months.
But you're going to trickle some stuff out?
Yeah.
yeah.
We have
Well,
releases all the way
Basically, all the
upcoming.
singles are like are a couple different tastes of like
It's the breadcrumbs.
a
Mhm.
taste of
Can
like
we-
the variety. What?
Can we talk about Excited?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be the time.
yeah.
We're
Excited.
going into it.
Our next song is called Excited, and it comes out on the 31st. And we're
Yep.
doing another 2-pack. So they're gonna get an extra song called Maria.
Mhm.
But yeah, these songs are very different than the last songs.
Yep.
And then the songs after that are gonna be very different than Excited. So
But they each point.
We're
like-
touching the different.
I think they
I get
touch
it.
the different extremes of the album where
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
two are like that more soft.
like
you
Wrong
know,
kind of is like a
caring
parallel
side.
to Phases.
Yes, it is.
And then like Same Place is kind of like it's in this newer world that we haven't done like a pocket, or maybe it kind of gives me like Stars vibes.
Yeah.
But it's like and then we're kind of gonna go into a whole new bag that we really haven't tapped into before.
Really haven't tapped into. I think we
the
kind
next
of
two
did it with
songs,
like
Excited
Corpus,
Maria.
but like not really.
Yeah,
What is it? Can you not tease the sound? Like, what is something you haven't tried?
like it's definitely
it's
it's
It'll
like
be
a
played
little
in
bit
the club.
trappier, a little bit
Mm.
more.
We rap.
Party.
You both
Yeah,
rap.
there's there's full
Yeah, they're
rap
rapping.
verses.
Me and
Yeah.
Austin have
2 rap verses.
Little Jersey
Or-
Club.
verse each.
We got some we got
Yeah.
some Jersey Club vibes on Maria.
Maria.
It's just like club, like we dance.
Yes, these
Like-
are more club focused.
We dance and like Jello is great. I love Jello. I love Healthy. I love all those songs. Like they're great songs, but like it doesn't. We dance.
Not playing that at
dance.
the club.
Like when we
Yeah.
go to the club and we're dancing by ourselves, we're not dancing to those songs. So it's like, how do we make a song that we want to dance to, that we
Right.
want to be played at parties? Like
Mhm.
not to shade on any of those songs. I love those songs, but I want someone to feel excited to play my music at a party
Play
Yeah.
while I'm there,
To play
and then
excited
me
at
also
the
be
party.
excited to hear it. You know, so that's
We're going to
kinda
get
like
that in this
the-
next pack.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Giddy up.
Yeah.
Is Maria about a person?
I
Can be.
I don't think we
Hey.
know one girl named Maria. But
I do.
Or do we all know?
'cause
I secretly whenever I listen to that song, I secretly just kind of like get a little like laugh to myself because my girlfriend now, she's from Florida, so and she's from Miami, which is like a lyric from the song.
Yeah.
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 I was
Very
like, where are you
true.
going with that?
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so I in my head I kind of just replaced the name Maria with my girlfriend's name. But yeah.
And that is art.
Hey, it helps
He's
me
an
have the
artist.
swag for the track, you know.
That's hilarious.
The swag.
Yeah.
No specific Marias.
No specific. Marias.
Did you guys try making an album like this when you were with the label and they just wouldn't let you?
It's like
No.
there was no trying of making an album.
There was no
because
conversation about
Yeah.
it.
There was no
ever.
conversation
it was,
about it.
It was we're
Oh.
gonna drop a single until it's #1 on Billboard,
And
we're just gonna
then-
figure out what that single is without testing anything.
And then I look back and I'm like, well, then what would we have done? Like, say something popped off, we would have had no album really
Ready to
Follow it
go.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to put out. So then
No,
also
that,
like I
that
think it's
hit would have dictated how you sound.
Yes.
true. I
Yeah,
think that was
that too.
more of the approach. It was like figure out what works and then do that. And then, but I don't even know if that's. I mean, I guess we would be open to like, obviously putting out more things if they're working in that vein. But like,
the
until
best
we-
thing, the thing that worked for us most was Phases, which they didn't
Yeah.
even want to release in the first place.
Yeah. It's
Our biggest
we
song.
have to fight for that one.
Our biggest song is Phases, and the only thing they gave us was we'll make it the title of the EP. Like
Yeah.
we'll make that the focus track of the EP. But that song, we didn't do a single thing to that song, marketing wise.
Yep.
It took a life of its own, and
True.
we all sat there collectively, managers included. And we
Just-
said, "This is the one."
Yeah.
And that was the first time it worked, but it didn't. Like it worked in our favor because like we had bragging rights to say,
Yeah.
yeah, we did it.
It
But
outperformed our really.
no one took advantage of the performance.
Because
Yeah.
what did we do right after that?
Nothing.
Menacita.
Hey,
So it wasn't
but
like,
people
oh,
love
this
that
Phases
song.
bag's
People love
working.
that
Let's like
song.
lean
Yeah.
into this. It's like, no, we're just gonna go completely left.
yeah, like
And-
yeah.
yeah, it was just this leans into like because we're not hating on like people love that song. We
Is that
don't
the one
want
with
to take away.
CNCO?
It's a,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's
yeah.
a great song, and I
great
love
song.
it.
But then like
super
after
fun
that,
to shoot it.
after that, we started getting into these sessions, and then the producers are telling us, "So your label told us that you guys are going Latin." And I'm
we're
like,
like,
"No."
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's like there's just like miscommunication and just
but
disconnect.
Everybody has a plan until it's not their plan, and then they bail on it, right? So like,
Wow.
just
Oh, yeah.
because
Wow.
your song becomes a huge hit, or like is showing indicators of it being successful,
Mhm.
just because like they didn't call it, so then it's not theirs.
Exactly.
Right.
And to be honest, I think the approach to music
So
now,
true.
from a label perspective, is that plans, like hits, have no plan. Actually,
Mhm.
like there is no. The thought of rolling out anything today doesn't necessarily exist. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
like it's like hit songs have no plan, and once they show themselves, then you have to have a fucking plan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's like
again,
watching a bunch
just, like, it doesn't mean good team members don't bail on things just because it's not
Exactly.
theirs.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
So I think we're really inspired right now to just have fun, like come back to like really having fun with it again,
Mhm.
and just exploring and just like trying things. And a big thing for us is just being consistent. Like let's show
Yeah.
up and let's we're
Dude,
we're
that's like
capable. We're
98%
fully
of the fucking
self-sufficient.
battle.
Mhm.
Huh?
Yeah.
That was the
Consistency is 98% of the battle.
100%.
Like,
100%.
showing up
And-
is like almost all of it.
Yeah.
and that was the
Mhm.
only thing we never really explored. Like,
It was like do this really big, great opportunities. Really fortunate to have them.
wow,
And then
and then dead.
kind of a silence period, and then hey, here we are again, and it's
Because-
just
Yeah, because even when we were working with like people like Pooh Bear, they just like you don't even know if these songs are gonna come out.
mhm.
We're just we're
Yeah.
doing all these sessions,
Mhm.
and they
and building great
they can't
relationships.
figure out-
But
they can't figure out what they want to do with these songs, and there's so many people working that they're all giving each other different information, and it just turns into nothing's getting done.
It just turns into a messy kitchen.
And the thing is like it's our careers. It's like
Mhm.
at the expense
Yeah.
of us, right? So everybody can choose to lollygag and do their thing, but I'm the one who has to like wake up in the morning and go, where's my career going?
Yeah.
Like, what am I
Yeah.
gonna do with
Facts.
my like it's my money, you know? So now to just be, even if we were to not make a single dime, at least I know that we have the opportunity to make it happen versus just sitting
Relying
and
on somebody
relying on
else.
somebody
Oh,
else
yeah.
to make it happen.
Mhm.
Dude,
and
this is
that
your
pays
only
off.
thing, but to them, like you're one of many.
Exactly.
Yeah.
exactly.
Like someone goes in, clocks in, and clocks out, and
Yeah.
then after 5, they're not thinking about pretty much.
No,
I'm thinking
100%.
about pretty much
And
when
pretty much it's
while
six-
I'm sleeping.
Yep.
And pretty much the success a lot of the time doesn't like if we get successful, it's like they still are just working on the next artist.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So it makes
Was
sense.
the Jeremiah feature your choice, or was that kind of a label thing? Because, like, no disrespect to Jeremiah, it just didn't feel authentic to you guys.
Yeah, it was
It was
like a label thing.
oh, it was kind of
It was
kind
like we
of
wanted to work with him, but like
Yeah.
the song that got picked, I feel like was a label thing. No,
No,
It was kind of it
It was
collaborative.
the,
It was
the Jeremiah one. Actually, I think was really like. I look back at that one. That one was like a fun. That was a positive experience for me. But
Yeah.
also,
definitely.
yeah, like
whole experience was
we had
positive.
we. It wasn't even through really the label.
was
it
Ange.
Yeah.
yeah.
So like it was
Mm.
somebody that we know that like was just great relationship. And she
Mhm.
kind of put us in touch. Oh, actually, I'll go back a little bit. It started with Jeremiah had tried to get a record into our hands that he had written. We loved the song. The label loved the song. We fully cut it. There was like some weird politics and stuff that happened behind the scenes that somebody else owned the song
Right.
and blah, 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 whatever. So we were like, all right, let's try another one. He sent us a folder of other songs that he had written. They were like cool ideas, but we were like, yo, if he's down to get in, let's just write in. Get a session together and write. So we pull up to his crib. He's got a dope ass studio in his house, and we have like a dope vibe where we kind of just knock out. I think we did like 3 or 4 different ideas,
Yeah.
and it was actually I Don't Want to Leave. That was the last one of the night.
Actually, it was funny. The way that also came about was we were just writing, so we weren't. The intention wasn't to have him on a song. at
Yeah,
all.
he was just gonna like be a part of the writing process. For
And then
us.
Ange was like, like if you guys like talk it through, you could probably get a feature with him. And we're like, okay, cool. So we just ended up writing the hook, and he was just down to cut the hook. So he
Yeah.
cut the hook. We had the hook. We didn't have the whole. We didn't even have the song done at
we
all.
had just like mumble melodies on this beat that shout out Cut and Dry. They actually helped us produce Maria. Basically, yeah. So they had like brought this beat. We started doing these melodies, and we had the map of what the song was gonna sound like, and then the hook. And we could tell he was really like vibing with the hook. So then Ange hit us with like, yo, like if you pen in these words right now, like he'll probably just
We'll
go and
probably
cut
just
it. And we were like, oh, say less. So we put in the words. He cuts the hook. He's like super about it. And then we set up another session like either that week or the week after. Finished writing the rest of the words, and at that point it was like then we set up the things for the music video.
Yeah.
And
I think also, I mean, we love Jeremiah, so it's like, and
Yeah,
he,
big
and he,
Jeremiah
and he
fan.
spazzed on the song too. But I think too, again, it was like, what are our resources at that time? Like, I love the song and I love that whole situation. But at that time, it was also our best foot forward into kind of what we were how we were trying to be perceived, even. Because we are cooler than, our past songs allowed us to be. So I think that it was just cool for what it was, especially at that time. But like, yeah, it just kind of stayed there.
But we are in a new era.
Yeah.
You're
Oh, yeah.
out
Yeah.
here.
Pretty
We are
much.
out
You're
here.
outside.
Listen to the music. Link in the description below. All of it available on Amazon Music. A new album on the way, coming in May. Songs coming up until then. And obviously, if you follow the artists, these guys, pretty much, on Amazon Music, you'll be kept in the loop, when shit drops. What are you thinking?
Were you guys expecting Nick to leave, or that surprised you guys?
surprised me.
Mm.
It did definitely surprise me.
It was a surprise. I think.
It just wasn't as shocking.
Yeah, exactly. It was a
wasn't
surprise. It wasn't shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is like we love Nick. Nick is our brother to the death
Yeah.
of us. Like he is still a part of Pretty Much in spirit. Like he's blood.
It's my family.
But I think that
I think it was more of like a him thing. Like he was choosing to become distant because I think he just wanted to,
It just
step
became not for
into
his
his
anymore.
own thing a little.
Yeah, he had
more,
his own ambitions and other things that he wanted to do that didn't include Pretty Much.
And again,
And we wanted him to know that we respect that. Like, I think
Yeah.
the biggest thing I told him, I was like, we don't want to keep you here. Like, if this isn't like
Mhm.
in your cards anymore, that's totally okay.
Mhm.
Because
and
we don't want to. You don't feel
people-
like you have to be here.
Mm-mm.
I feel like people either sometimes they don't know, or they forget that he was in the Iconic Boys. So he was
Yeah.
kind of famous since he was a kid, and he was in a group, and then he went to another group. So I think he just wanted to kind of have his own identity. So
Mhm.
which is I get it. Like, I
and
respect that.
he's very throughout the years, like he's always wanted to be home, like with his family.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
family man to the death. Like he
Definitely.
loves being with his family more than like they probably want him around. Like to be honest, and like it's different when you want to be here because you want to be a part of this, but like you just have this
Yeah,
voice in your
pulling you
head being
back.
like I need to be home. I need to be with my family.
Yeah.
And
I could see like there was something tugging at him, and I thought it was maybe something like because I went through my own like arc of like maybe depression, discouragement, like throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, no,
And
I was gonna say that dark.
I just think like I was like when we right as we were kind of having the conversation, I thought it was coming from a place of more like, hey, like let's ignite this fire again, like let me mental health wise, let's make sure that we're all good, and there for each other. But then it ended up being the reason I say I was surprised is because I thought it was more of just that, like needing to like make sure we're all tapped in and checked in with each other mentally. But it was just that this has been tugging at him for kind of like a year of like feeling like he wanted to go back home, but then but feeling like he didn't want to hold us. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And we wanted to make sure, like literally in the same vein of for your own mental health and your own ambition, like you don't feel like you have to be here. Like we all were honest with each other and said, okay, we want to be here. We want to do this. And we're willing to now step it up a notch because we're gonna have to take on so much more being independent and in this new journey. So it was kind of like, but we want to be here, and if you don't want to be here, that's like we respect that. But like, you know, I wanted him to know too, like, thank you for being honest, because I know it's probably not easy. Like I can imagine.
Tough, and it wasn't the initial conversation like he mentioned at first. It was like, nah, like I miss being home, but like I got this, like we could do this.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool, let's do it. And then it was a whole nother week later where he was like, no, actually, let me sit you guys down. The only reason I said that was because I think like I don't want you guys to hate me or resent me for like leaving.
I didn't want to trigger I'm leaving the group. I'm like if you're leaving, I'm leaving type thing.
It could be a domino effect.
He didn't know if it would break us up or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we're like, the thing is,
that's a lot of pressure.
We're like, I forget sometimes how close we actually are, because like we really are like this close, and it is important to acknowledge, like, we care about each other first before everything else. After that, like, there's certain things that we're obviously not going to talk about that like come first, and we have to acknowledge and just make sure that everyone is safe, feels comfortable before we even tackle on the big things, because that stuff is all like, that stuff can't happen if we're not in good spirits, if we're not in good health.
Oh, 100%. You can't achieve anything. You can't live happy. You can't be successful. You can't be focused.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Literally.
You all come first.
Yeah. Once he makes that decision, do you four have to get together and like make sure you're on the same page and be like, all right, are we doing this, or what direction are we going? What's that conversation like?
I think it was part of.
It was like all in
that
one.
was part of him leaving. Like, it was a big conversation of what do we individually all want? Are we willing to make this work? Who's down? Who's not? So that's kind of how we figured out that situation.
Yeah, because I can't imagine a scenario where we do it without like being fully invested.
Without actually wanting to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work. No. Would not
Not
work.
at all.
Yeah.
How could it?
No, this is not something you can give 50%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not possible.
Yeah.
Well,
1,000.
listen to new Pretty Much music. Do it. Link in the description below.
Go ahead.
You good?
We gonna take this new album on the road eventually?
That's the next. Again, we were doing it ourselves, so we
One
have to
thing at a time.
tackle things at a time. But that's the next project to tackle.
There has been conversation.
There's some
promising conversations actually.
Feeling very good about that, but
Slow and steady
we gotta
wins the
get
race.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, we going.
We're playing the tortoise now.
Let's go, baby.
We're gonna
Really,
start
this
it
is
off with-
it's a marathon, not a sprint.
1,000%. You have to be reminded of that all the time.
Yeah.
Especially
Stop
like,
at every water
especially
station
like
and say
art-
hello.
if
Get
you
to know
wanna
that
be
guy.
If you want to be an artist that isn't a one-hit wonder, and you're like you have a career for your whole
Longevity.
life, it's gonna take the right steps. It's not because a lot of artists that blow up off one song, they don't have like other songs and a artist like identity, you know?
Yeah.
They're not really, they're just a song you know them from.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we're building a world, right? Like,
No, it's a universe and a real career.
like even the fact that we own our masters is enough, bro. Because like, think about like, even if we do half of the numbers that we were doing before, like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like, and so motivating to just keep going.
And it's yours.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Woo!
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I was gonna say there's also when you guys were coming up, there was a bunch of groups kind of like you, and it seems like nobody's really doing it anymore than you guys.
I don't think there's any groups left.
No.
Yeah,
BTS is not together.
Why Don't We is done.
Yeah.
Brockhampton's
All
gone.
of them.
Brockhampton's done.
All of
Forever
them.
in Your Mind's not a group
Like
anymore.
BTS they are still a group, but they are still serving in the military, so they
Right,
will come
right, right.
back.
Yes.
But
Well,
to your
I would
point,
say
it is a
K-pop-
very
K-pop is
barren
like-
landscape right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
K-pop is like its own world. That is like,
Yeah, it's a
I
whole
mean,
different
they're
thing.
incredible. Like,
Yeah.
you got to give it to them.
But as
it's
far
like
as
its
the
own thing.
U.S. guys,
Yeah,
bands,
U.S. at least, I think like nobody else is in this pocket right now.
No, even internationally, it's pretty crazy.
But I think, CNCOs, they're on their last tour.
Yeah, they're
right
done
now.
too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa.
well,
You are the
Woo!
last standing.
But pretty
We
much
outlasted.
lives to sing another day.
We live to sing.
Listen to their discography, all of it on Amazon Music. You good?
Yep.
Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for hanging
Thank you
out.
so much,
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Thank you.
Good to
Always
talk to you again.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Pretty much everybody.
PM.